is Kevin from New Leaf. I thought this was a perfect opportunity to record a demo of clear wax because Clayton is doing his first paint piece. He's painting a display cabinet here at the store, and all of you Annie Sloan fans out there know that the best paint to do that with is Annie Sloan chalk paint. So Clayton is doing his first piece, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to let Jim teach him how to clear wax because he's already painted the actual paint, and we thought we would include you guys in the process.
Hey Jim, I was just wondering how to wax my paint.
Yes, Clayton, to wax a piece of furniture with Annie Sloan chalk paint. All right, we're going to show Clayton's never waxed anything, never painted anything. He just started last night. In case anybody's following Annie Sloan paint and understands it, this is a custom color. This is, believe it or not, 32 parts pure white, 1 part Amsterdam green. So it's a very minty, lighter than lim, but kind of in that feel. Because we have a desk that's already painted in Amsterdam green, and so we wanted to have the kind of the same family. So he painted this last night, and he has never done waxing before. So I'm going to show him a little bit of what waxing is, and then we'll let him jump into it. So I've got Annie Sloan wax brush. This is her large one, which is my personal favorite because it's a little skinnier, so I can hold it like an artist brush. And this is Annie Sloan clear wax. So when I do it, and just everybody know there's a million different ways to do it, but this is my preference. I put the brush in the can, and I'm not pushing down on it. It's just kind of balanced, and I twist it one time, and that's enough wax to get right there on the tip, and that will allow you to do a small area, but not overdo it. The main thing with wax is Clayton, the main thing with wax is you don't want to put too much wax. Annie has a good analogy on lotion. If you put way too much lotion, it just never absorbs, and then you're trying to get rid of it and all that. So when I put the wax on, I'm just going to go in medium pressure. I'm not bearing down, and I'm not just daintily doing it. I'm working it into the pores of the paint, changing direction, just going back and forth. Not super complicated. A lot of people overthink waxing. Once I kind of go in a bare area about that big with that small amount of wax, I'll just get some more. And I'll usually do probably the size of a drawer front, something like that, and then I will wipe it back. Now, if you'll hand me those blue shop towels. We use Scott's brand shop towels, one, because they're lint-free, they're cheap, easy to find, and then you can just throw them away. You're not having to clean up with other towels. A lot of people use cotton rags, cheesecloth, just personal preference. So when I come back to wipe it, I usually fold my cloth in halves, and I will put some medium pressure, just enough to kind of take the greasiness off. When you feel it right after you wax, it's kind of slimy, feels kind of like Clayton's hair, but smells better. So once you wipe it about 20 times, then I'm going to flip, and it's hard to tell, but you'll see the wax residue on there. And all you're doing is wiping the excess wax that's sitting on top of the paint. So I'll wipe it again. Once you get it off, then you can start going back and forth a few times. Again, just medium pressure, nothing overdoing it. And then I'm going to do, I usually do it 3 times. That seems to be the good amount. If you don't flip your rag, then it starts clogging up with wax, just like if you're wiping the floor with a rag and you're trying to get up stuff. If you don't rinse your rag out and swap it, then you're just smearing and make a big mess after a while. So when you feel it, it will feel almost dry to the touch, have a little bit of a grip to it. You'll see a sheen, but it just gives it a finish, adds depth, and that's really all there is to clear waxing. I was saying earlier, and I don't think I finished the statement, but I don't do anything like a huge section. Like if this was solid, I wouldn't do half the top of this piece because the wax doesn't really dry, but it starts to get gummy and a little bit tackiness. And so when you ripe it, it'll start to pull and kind of drag, and it doesn't wipe real easy. So I try to do it in smaller sections, wipe it so it's real easy to glide, and then you're good. And sometimes you'll come back and you're like, oh, I missed an area. You can just go over, you don't see any seams, and it doesn't really matter if you overlap it. So Super easy.
Wow,
All right,
Jim,
so
can I
Clayton,
try?
yes, Clayton, would you like to try the
I
waxing
would love
process?
Spin.
Yep. And usually just spin once or twice is all you need because you don't want to get it too much stuff on there. So yeah, go ahead and do this area if you want. Oh wait, no, I'm totally messing with you. Just go ahead. Now I've had one gentleman that we convinced to buy chalk paint. He would bring in a lot of furniture to sell, and he originally painted with some of the homemade chalk paint, just latex, and it just wasn't working out very well. It just wasn't real chalk paint. So we finally got him to try Annie's. Well, he's an aggressive little man evidently, because he showed me his wax brush and it's about half as short as mine, and I was like, oh, you're pushing way too hard, and I didn't realize because he doesn't paint it around here, he paints it in another town. And so if you find your bristles are actually getting shorter and you're wearing it down, then you're pushing about 3,000 times too hard. It should just be a gentle, almost like you're painting, but just working it in. And it sounds silly, but you'll feel it when you get it right. So you've got it covered everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then put your